Couple things. I wouldn't have got my money back, which I ended up getting my money back. Uh, I would have maybe continued to have this issue in my business, and I maybe wouldn't have gotten the clarity that I needed from somebody who I never expected to get this information from. Think about that. So I want you all to think back to somebody who maybe did you wrong, who who may have the answer to your problem. They may have the solution to your issue. And I understand that forgiving somebody is tough, especially if they mess with your money, your kids, your spouse. If they did something wrong, they said something cross about your parents or whatever the case may be. You can't control what they do. However, you can control what you do. Hey, family. This is Che Willis coming back with another episode of Wealth is a Journey podcast. Guys, this is episode 56. Per usual, moving and shaking out here in these podcast streets, bro. Getting to it, man. Putting out good information that's hopefully helping change lives out here. If you are a new listener, I'd like to thank you for tuning in to the Wealth is a Journey podcast, where we talk about faith, family, and finances, among other things, that's going to help you on your journey to get to these M's. If you are a return listener, if you are a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. Hopefully, we are enriching your lives with information on the guests that I have on the podcast, as well as myself, obviously. Thank you so much for coming back. Appreciate you. So, in episode 56, we're going to talk about a heavy topic. We are going to talk about forgiveness. On your way to get to the M's, you are going to have many obstacles in your way. You're going to have friends. You're going to have family. You're going to have people maybe online say bad things about you or do you wrong, stab you in the back, say something bad about you. They may owe you money. At the end of the day, we are supposed to forgive these people. Forgiveness is tough, man, because people do you wrong and they know that they're doing you wrong by saying something or doing something that they know is not right, but they do it anyway for whatever reason. And then you start thinking to yourself, like, yo, fam, like, why are you doing this to me? You know me. Why are you doing this? So in our church services at Seeds of Greatness Bible Church, for the last few months, we've been talking about forgiveness. And it's a tough topic for me. Only reason is because I'm a part of the petty gang. So anybody who's a part of the petty gang knows that if you do me wrong, I will cut you off in a second. And if you keep coming around me or say something, then I'm going to let you know, and I'm going to let others know that you did me wrong. Is that the right thing to do? Absolutely not. I'm working on myself as well. I'm a work in progress, but I'm going to start off by telling you a story about a family member. Let's call this family member Sean. I'm changing the names to protect the people who I now have a relationship with again. So Sean calls me up one day. This was maybe a few years ago, maybe 2-3 years ago. Sean calls me up. Hey, Che, listen, I'm in a jam. My child support is blah, 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 blah. I need a few $100 and by the end of the day, or I think it was the next day, whatever the case may be. And I said to myself, okay, first of all, why is this person in the jam? I always reason why. If somebody asks me for something, why do they need this money? And are they responsible? Now, Sean may have not have been the most responsible person because I haven't heard from Sean in a while. That's red flag number one. And then he says, "Hey, I need this money, whatever." So, long story short, I end up giving him the money. We had a timeline of when Sean was supposed to return this money to me, and the timeline came and went. So I'm calling Sean up, yo, fam, listen, I need my bread back. I took it out of my a fund that I had for my business, and I gave it to him. And Sean knows that I don't really play around with money. I'm a person of integrity. If you tell me that you're going to do something, I expect you to do it because that's the way I operate. And in my journey in life, I understand that everybody does not operate the same way I do. And once you realize that, that will help you not to be upset with other people, because I think that's why a lot of people get frustrated with other people, because you operate one way and you think that everybody is going to operate the same way that you do, and that's not the case. So I give Sean the money. The money doesn't come back to me in a timely manner. I end up in my head wanting to do bad things to Sean. I have a kid. I have a wife. I have a business. I'm a pretty good employee. I have a lot going on for me at this point. And I think to myself, well, maybe if I do this bad thing to Sean, I'm justified. And I might have been, but it's not the right thing to do. So I ended up leaving Sean a voicemail saying, hey, listen, um, uh, I forgive you for what you did, but I think to save our families this headache, it's done. Don't even worry about it. So a year or two later, I get a phone call from this person, and they're like, "Yo, cuz I was looking for something. They needed advice for something. They weren't asking for money again. So I have a decision to make at this point. I said I forgive this person. I said I'm gonna let it go, but the petty in me wanted to do something else. But I stuck to my guns and I said, I forgive this person. I'm going to do the right thing and give the person the information that they need to help them in their situation. So I give them the information and they're like, yo, cuz I know I owe you the money. I'm going to pay it back to you. Don't worry about it. Okay. At this point, it's been over a year. So I'm not expecting anything. Are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Are you tired of using your credit cards as an emergency fund? Are you tired of being scared when you think about your money? If the answer to any of these questions is yes, I'm here to help. My name is Che Willis, and I help families living paycheck to paycheck live the life that they want to live through budgeting and investing. Now, I understand that the word budget is scary. What we're trying to do is we're trying to take that fear out of the word, right? All we're doing is telling our money where to go. That's it. We're paying down and reducing our debts to take that money to march out into the marketplace to bring us back some more money babies. That's all we're doing. So if you need help in this area, I am here for you. Please go to wealthisajourney.com. Again, wealthisajourney.com and book a free discovery call today to see how I can help. Again, wealthisajourney.com. I look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you. So a year or two passes, and then I end up getting the money back. So now me and Cuz are made whole. So if it, fast forward till today, me and this family member are working on our relationship. We talk a little bit more on the phone now, and to this day now, this family member is now helping me in my business. I'm having an issue. I told you guys last week that being overwhelmed can stop you from moving forward. And I was getting overwhelmed in my business because I was trying to do everything all at once. But I had a conversation with this person, and they gave me information that's going to help me uh, do what I'm trying to accomplish faster and reach more people at the same time. But what if I had just completely cut this person off? I'm saying I'm a man of faith. I love God. Me and God are tight, right? And I believe that I am in the position that I'm in because I listen, right? Among other things. But I listen. I listen to sound advice. I listen to wisdom. If I read something in the Bible, I'm implementing that thing. So if I say I'm tight with God and I get good advice from reading, my Bible, then I have to do the things that I read. I have to listen. So my thought is, what if I had of just completely cut Sean off? Couple things. I wouldn't have got my money back, which I ended up getting my money back. Uh, I would have maybe continued to have this issue in my business, and I maybe wouldn't have gotten the clarity that I needed from somebody who I never expected to get this information from. Think about that. So I want you all to think back to somebody who maybe did you wrong, who may have the answer to your problem. They may have the solution to your issue. And I understand that forgiving somebody is tough, especially if they mess with your money, your kids, your spouse. If they did something wrong, they said something cross about your parents or whatever the case may be. You can't control what they do. However, you can control what you do, how you react, how you act towards that person. Now, the feeling that I get, or the feeling that I got anytime this family member's name was brought up, I got this burning feeling inside of me, like I wanted to do some bad things to them anytime that they were brought up. And that's just me. I'm just being completely honest with you. Was that right? Absolutely not. But I have a decision to make, and you have a decision to make. If you are uh trying to get somewhere in your life, if you're trying to get say more money, more clients, more something, and you're praying for God to bless you with some things, then it would make sense to do what he says. And it's not, this is not sermon time or anything like that, but we're trying to get to the M's. We're trying to make our financial situation better. We're trying to achieve different things in our lives, and we're praying for things. So it makes sense, again, for you to do what he says for you to do, so he can bless you the way that you're asking him to. So if you have somebody in your life that has done you wrong, I would say to make sure that you go make it right with them. I'm not necessarily a Bible scholar yet, but there's a verse of scripture that says, if before you bring your offering to the church, or bring your offering in front of God, put it down and get it right with the person that you have alt in your heart against. Now, if you've done somebody wrong, well, before you bring your offering, it says, and then you get it right with them, and then you bring it. So your offering will be accepted. Okay. So if you did something wrong to somebody and then they're not accepting your, hey, I'm sorry, I messed up, and you're trying to make it right with them, that's not your responsibility for them to accept whatever you said. You did your part, right? But if somebody did you wrong it's your responsibility to make sure that you forgive them. Now, forgiveness may look different for different people, but what I'm saying is I'm not saying that you have to be buddy buddy with them. You have to hang out with them, go out and get dinner and stuff like that. You don't have to do that. But what I'll say is that forgiveness is a choice. You have to choose to forgive the people who did you wrong, because if you don't, you get this, like, anytime the person's name is brought up or you may be around that person, you get tight and you want to fight or you want to do something bad that can land you in prison. I'm just talking about myself. And nobody wants to live like that, man. Like we talk about on this podcast all the time, like all the things that we have to do in our adult life. We're taking care of our kids, we're taking care of our spouses, we have households to run, we have businesses to run, we're 9 to 5ers. We're trying to balance your mental health and all these things, and your trying to get your finances right and all the things, right? So why pile on top of that, on all the things that I just listed? Why pile on top of that hate for somebody because they did you wrong? Just release them. And once I released this family member, did the feeling go away right away? Absolutely not. But I had to make a decision to let it go and be around this person at times when I was upset. But I had to make a decision. So if you're praying for things or you want something to change in your life, I know it's a lot to ask of you, but if you want to go somewhere in life, this is one of the areas that we have to work on. And we can't be petty about it. We can't be we can't say that we want things and then you have answers on how to achieve the thing that you're trying to achieve, and then you're not willing to do everything that it's going to involve to get you your answer. And if you're not where you want to be in life, if your prayers are maybe not getting answered, whatever the case may be, I would ask you to look at your the people that you need to forgive, because it was so impactful for me. I just had a conversation with this person, and then a light bulb went off in my head, like, yo, just think to yourself, if you had never had a conversation, if you had never made a decision to forgive this person, how your life may have been impacted as a result of your disobedience. And so it's making me examine other areas of my life where I can improve. And I'm a work in progress. I'm always looking to improve. And I'm always looking for areas that, hey, are you doing this 100% right? And then once I realize that I'm not doing it, then I attack it right away. So this podcast is not going to be about money, even though it is, because your answer to your financial breakthrough could be on the other side of you just doing what you're praying for. Like if you're praying to God, your answer could be in you forgiving this person, and then that person can unlock something that has been hindering you from getting to where you wanted to be in your business, in your life. And my thought was, I'll never need this person. Like this person needed me for XYZ thing, and I'm never going to need this person. Like, when would I ever ask this person for anything? Because prior to my cousin coming to me asking me for that money, like we barely even spoke. Like it wasn't like we were beefing or anything like that. We never really spoke. Like we grew up and we kind of grew apart or whatever. So I thought to myself, like, I will never need this person, so I'll just cut them off and whatever. But my answer was in my forgiveness of that person. So examine the people that you need to forgive. I'm sure we have plenty of them in our lives that have done us wrong. along the way to our adulthood that we need to forgive. So if you did something wrong to somebody, get it right with that person. If they don't accept your apology, that's on them. You did your part and you were sincere about it. Now, if somebody did you wrong, it's only a matter of maybe shooting them a text or calling them, hey, whatever we had in the past, it's over. It's over with. Because we have way too much going on in our lives to be holding on to nonsense. At the end of the day, it's like nonsense. Like if it's just nonsense. It's nonsense. So again, you don't have to be buddy with them, but my charge to you is for you to forgive that person so you can get to this bag. And you may not think that it's tied to your financial breakthrough, but who knows? And the only way you're going to find out is through your obedience. So that's the podcast episode. The podcast episode is about forgiveness. Hopefully, you're not too fired up right now thinking about that person that did you wrong. If you like to comment below, talking about how you've maybe overcome your forgiveness issues, like I, kind of poured my heart out today, telling you about mine and how, as a result of me doing what I was supposed to do, I was able to get on the other side and hopefully, again, get the message out to other people about financial literacy, about how, controlling my finances has impacted my life and those around me, family and friends. And because at the end of the day, like having that forgiveness is now going to help me to do that. So you never know how your obedience is going to impact your life. And I'm just telling you the story of mine and how it impacted mine. So forgive that person, man. Forgive them. Life is too short. So thank you for tuning in to Wealth is a Journey. We will see you next week.
I'm a chain diver, I'm a chain bitch. Look at my diamond.